Welcome New Prague area schools and New Prague area community to our first episode of Supt Talk for this 2017-2018 school year. We are very excited to be back for another year of Supt Talk with our superintendent, Mr. Tim Dittburner, and the many guests that we're going to have this school year, both students and staff. We really love to highlight a lot of the folks that we have working for us and the wonderful things that our students are doing every single day. Supt Talk can be seen on the New Prague Schools District website, along with the city TV page also. You can also contact myself, Tony Boothie, the Director of Educational Services at the New Prague Area Schools, if you ever have any questions or comments about Supt Talk or anything that we maybe have on the show. Today we're going to start with one of our three guests, and it is a teacher that works within our school district. Her name is Miss Kate Kienow. Good morning, Kate.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for being with us today. And we're going to kind of highlight what the position is that you are currently in. It's kind of a new position this year, working with some of our staff and students. Can you please tell our viewers, first of all, just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into your new position.
Sure. So this is my third year at New Prague Area Schools. The last 2 years I was the RTI specialist at Falcon Ridge Elementary, and then prior to that I taught in the Shakopee School District. But this year our district created a new position. It's called the Talent Development Facilitator, and I'm very excited to be able to serve in that position and work with many of our students in the district, both our high achieving students and all students, working on really pushing them as much as they can.
All right. Mr. Dittburner's got a few questions for you.
Yes, and with her position, with Kate's position too, I just want to clarify some traditional titles of the position is gifted and talented, that type of thing. So she's dealing with high achieving, high potential students, like she said, and that is the funding for her position, or funding for the entire program, is specially tied funding from the state of Minnesota. So it's not from our general fund, and so we've been fortunate through the state of Minnesota, they designate that funding for this program or for these kids. Why don't you talk a little bit about your job, how you support teachers, and also the work that you do directly with the kids. So it's a two-part thing.
It is. So we'll start with the students. I'm really excited. This year I will be implementing the primary education thinking skills curriculum in all kindergarten, first and second grade classrooms. So it's about 922 students that I get to teach throughout the year. And when I go into the classroom, I'll be teaching different thinking skills, divergent thinking, creative thinking, and giving the teachers an opportunity to sit back and observe their students and what they're doing. And so this enables us to really see what capabilities students have beyond just how they do on a test, because we know that some students might do poorly on our standardized tests, but they do have some pretty incredible capabilities. In addition to that, I'm working with teachers who have students that really are excelling in their classroom and need some extra enrichment and challenge. And so I'll work with them to gather resources and support them in implementing that in the classroom.
Good.
I do know that you're going to do some work with the teachers even after school too, like some professional development.
Yes.
Can you just kind of explain what maybe that would look like for our teachers, anybody else that's working with our students?
Sure. So one of the professional development opportunities that I will be offering is through our total school cluster grouping model. We are in commitment with Purdue University, and so this year we're going to be focusing on differentiation with students, and then also needs and the nature of those students who are gifted, creative, or talented, and how we can support them. In addition to that, I'm going to be working with some of the upper elementary and middle school teachers. We have a great math professional development with Jerry Burkhart coming in addition to that, really working with them on creating some differentiated curriculum for their tutorial time.
How about, I think a question everyone has is a common one, I guess. So students that are gifted, creative, talented, high performing, whatever you want to call it, for your program, how are they identified?
Sure, so we have multiple ways of identifying them. We take the FAST test, which is a diagnostic test in both reading and math, and we take that kindergarten through 8th grade. Also, our 3rd, 4th, 5th graders take the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessment, so we do look at that. But in addition, our 2nd graders and 3rd graders this year will be taking the COGAT test, which is the Cognitive Abilities Test. And so it really looks at visual and quantitative reasoning and kind of some skills beyond just math and reading and academics. But then the PETS program as well will be able to give us some insight into what capabilities students have.
All right, great.
Well, Kate, thank you very much for being with us. And, we've got, you bring a lot of background and really good education to not only our school district, but this position that you're going to be working with to both support our students and our staff. So we thank you very much. We wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you.
And have a great time with it. So we'll be right back. We thank Ms. Kienow for being with us today. We'll be right back with our second guest. Welcome back to Supt Talk, and we'd like to thank Ms. Kate Kienow for being a part of our Supt Talk today. She's going to do a wonderful job in that position. Our second guest is a student now, a junior at the New Prague High School, and many will know him as the clay target state champion, Woodrow Glazer. Good morning, Woodrow, and thank you very much for being with us today.
Good morning. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
So go ahead, Woodrow, and just tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself. You're a junior at the New Prague High School, but if you're involved in other things, or a little bit about your family.
Okay, I live in the Cedar Lake area. My dad got me into shooting about, I think, 3 years ago, and I haven't looked back. My favorite color is blue.
All right. Well, we're going to fire away with some questions.
All right. Well, Woodrow, 2 years ago, we were clay target team champions, first time ever. Minnesota State High School, like first time ever, they sponsored the clay target championship. And then this past year, we didn't win it, but you took first place. Tell us what that was like the last couple of years. I mean, did you ever think when you joined this sport 3 years ago, it would lead to this?
Well, no, I never really thought that it would lead to what it is now, but now I'm looking at a couple schools to go for scholarships, and I've really put in a lot of work into shooting, and I shoot a lot and I practice, and I'm surprised that this happened, but I'm not surprised that it did at the same time.
Now, the rounds you guys shoot is rounds of 25 at a time, am I right?
Yeah, 25.
And for at the state meet, total of 100 clay targets you're shooting at, right? That are on the move, and you went 100 out of 100, or would you go 99 out of 100?
100.
100 out of 100. He didn't miss, and which is totally remarkable. What was it like when you first started out 3 years ago? What were you hitting 3 years ago?
Low teens.
Okay.
Consistently, a couple 20s, maybe a couple mid-20s, but sort of took off my second year.
Okay. That's awesome. So do you, with this, talk about how much you practice now. Where do you go?
During the summer, I usually practice at Horse and Hunt and Minneapolis Gun Club, and that's anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week during the summer, and I limit it to about 1 or 2 during the school year.
Okay, good.
So that's a lot of ammunition, Woodrow. I mean, do you pay for that? Do you reload your own shells? I have no idea if you practice 3 or 4 days. I mean, I'm an old hunter, and I just remember how much ammunition cost.
Well, my dad and I, we buy them in bulk. It's a bit cheaper, and we usually buy some lower level, not as premium ammo for practice. And then for competition, we buy the top of the line stuff. So.
Okay.
That does make a difference. And what type of gun?
Browning 725.
Okay. Good.
That's awesome. So I don't think many people out here would understand, but you talked about college already. Future plans, I mean, are there teams out there in college? Are there scholarships? What are some of the schools you're looking at?
I'm looking at Hillsdale College in Michigan. They're, I believe, Division III, and they've won in the past 4 years, I think, 3 championships.
Okay.
and it's a small team, it's a small school, and I like the smaller environment, and I like the smaller classroom size.
So they've been speaking to you, they want
Yeah.
you to come there?
I've done a recruiting camp, and I've spoken with them a lot.
All right.
Well, awesome. I know, I'm forgetting Dietz's first name.
Paul.
Paul Dietz. He went to Doane College in Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
He was our,
His son, Ben.
Ben
Yeah.
Ben
Okay.
Dietz. Coach Paul Dietz is our coach, obviously. But Ben went to Doane College on a partial scholarship to college, right?
Yep.
So they're out there. So yeah, it's amazing. It's the fastest growing Minnesota State High School sponsored sport activity that there is. In fact, nationwide, it's just going crazy. How many kids we have on our team right now?
A little less than 90,
Yeah.
I believe.
Wow.
90 boys and girls. It's a sport for both. It's just, one class of competition. So, well, it's awesome to see. And again, congratulations. We had Woodrow at a school board meeting, and wanted to recognize him again today and get the word out. Any predictions for this year with the team or yourself? Do you want to go out on a limb?
No.
As you can tell, Woodrow's very modest
Yes.
and unassuming, but he is a great student athlete for us here at New Prague High School. So again, congratulations.
Woodrow, thank you very much for being with us, and we thank Woodrow and wish him the very best of luck this school year and the entire team. So we will be right back with our last guest. Well, welcome back to our first episode of Supt Talk, and we had Woodrow Glazer, our state champion in clay target, and we're very happy and proud of him and the entire team. We've got another junior student here whom we're very excited about also, and you may or may not have heard him on KCHK K-Check, our local radio station. That's Mr. Jacob Bastyr. Jake, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. So we're here today with Jake, and as you can see, we've got something different up here. It's a concertina, and Mr. Dipburner is going to kind of grill Jake a little bit about what this is all about, because you don't see these in high schools very often, and you definitely don't see young teenagers playing concertina a lot, but it's a music box. And I think at the end of our interview, we're even going to get him to play. So I'll let Mr. Dipburner start asking some questions with Jake.
All right, obviously New Prague area here, this is a tradition. Talk about your background, how you got started, what age, your family and all that stuff.
Well, my grandpa builds the concertinas under the Hengel name, and he's been doing that since 1995.
And his name is?
Jerry Miller. Yeah. And then his son Jay also plays concertina,
Yep.
and then a lot of other people in my family have a musical background. And then I started about in 7th grade, so I was about 13 when I started. And I did not start off with one like this. I kind of started off with a really small one, kind of doggy, but it was good.
All right, well, awesome. So, you started at 13, so how often do you practice now? You're a junior in high school. I mean, you were talking earlier about you're going to perform in Merrill, Wisconsin this weekend at a big festival. So how often do you practice?
Well, last year I'd probably do about 4 hours a day.
Oh, really?
Wow. Or try to get as much in as I could, yeah. And then now I play different instruments as well, like guitar and stuff.
Yep.
So I kind of split that. So now it's probably about 2 hours, hour and a half of concertina a day, yeah.
Okay, and you were on K-Check?
Yep, September 1st. Yep.
Okay, how was that?
That was good. I played on there multiple times, but that was my own show.
Yep.
See, under multiple times I was with different groups, such as the A-Flat Club, which we play A-Flat concertinas, which are lower pitch than what we usually play. So,
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, your grandpa's got to be very proud of you that
Yeah, sure
taking
is,
off
yeah.
the family tradition. I mean, he's a household name here around this area.
Yeah, I also help them build them and fix them too now.
You
so,
do?
Yeah.
How about, are there any other high school students you know that are playing concertina?
Yeah, Colton Tupi
Colt Tupi?
and Gabe Ferris.
Okay, yep. In fact, Gabe, when he was in the middle school and he was in 8th grade, he played for us
Oh,
one
yeah.
time in middle school.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
did
sure.
a good job, and that was neat to see. Well, that's great to carry on the tradition there.
Do you play in some bands, Jake?
No, I do play with concertina clubs though.
Okay, so
Which
just name
they're
a
kinda
few of
like
those.
bands,
Okay.
yeah. Well, there's multiple groups I'm in. There's one in Sleepy Eye, We got a North Star Concertina Club, and then we have the New Prague Concertina Club and the A-Flat Club.
Wow. Now, you're obviously very big. Are you in any other activities in high school, or is
No.
this it?
This is
Your
pretty
full
much about
focus?
it, yeah.
Awesome. Well, how about playing a little tune for us?
Sure, yeah. I'll play a polka called the Lindenau Polka. I'll play it standing up, so, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Well, that concludes our first episode of Supt Talk, and we'd really like to thank Jacob Bastyr
Thank you.
for
You made it.
for doing that. He did a great job for us. We had our other guests with us today, and look for us both on the school website and on the City Access channel. And we have one episode every month. Thank you for watching our first episode of Supt Talk.